Last year at this time, I was walking this trail every day. It was my afternoon unwind after the workday, and also just a wonderful way to connect with Earth and like a ground. If you do grounding, if you believe in that, I do. I even hugged trees most of my walk. There are 2 trees in particular that are just these big, magnificent, who knows how old they are trees. And sometimes I just hug them and say, thank you for giving us oxygen. Thank you for being so strong and resilient. I have been on this trail this year. I think this is my 2nd or 3rd time total. And I will say it was an act of defiance in some ways, because this trail, when I came out here this spring, this is already August, so when I came out here this spring, I was devastated to find that it was clear cut in many areas. And it was so early in the spring, like not many people were out here. Hi there. And I was just devastated. The trail didn't look anything like it did. And I thought, why? Why did you do this? It's like almost a 2.5 mile loop that I do. And there was some areas that were sort of salvaged and some that were just plain clear cut. I heard through the grapevine that I think they were trying to get rid of the diseased trees. And I thought, wow, that's quite a bit. So anyway, as an act of defiance, I didn't walk this trail as much. And I haven't been on my game lately. And I tried to trace it back. And as much as I don't want to admit it, it started at when the time changed. And in the fall, no, this was what, the spring? Yeah, the spring. Because I had the time change and I had a surgery, so I wasn't obviously on my game after the surgery because I couldn't work out and for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So I kind of fell off. I wasn't, my usual routine is early bird central. So, hi there, great shoes. 4:15 a.m. was my early bird. I was up. I was making the coffee, journaling, shower, go work out, and sitting back at my desk by 7:30 in the morning, 8 tops, ready to work and be productive. And it seemed like after the time change and that surgery this last spring, so it's been months, a solid, 4 or 5 months that I've been off my game. And I was at the gym yesterday, and this great gal, she's really works hard. She puts in the work. She's looking great. Her arms are looking great. And we happened to bump into each other in the locker room, and she's like, I just want to tell you look great. And I said, girl, you too. I said, we're putting in some work. And I said, what are you about to do? And she said, I'm going to do some cardio. And I asked her how long she does cardio. I don't care for cardio. So I was like, I'm a 10 to 20 minutes tops kind of gal with the cardio. And unless, of course, I'm walking this trail, then it takes me about 35 to 40 minutes. Anyway, smells good out here. And I said, I don't know why I've been off my game. I said, I used to be so regimented and I liked it. I liked feeling so accomplished. And she said, well, maybe it's the weather. It's been real hot. And I looked at her. I said, no, I appreciate you trying to give me an out here, but no, it's not the weather. It might be a season. And it's not the summer season, because I love summer. I said 95 and humid is my jam. I used to live in South Florida, and I loved the weather there. I miss it every day, all the time. So I was thinking about after I talked to her, and again, I appreciated her giving me an out, and it's not that. And I thought, rather than get down on myself about it, I got to give myself some grace. And I just mentioned grace to a girlfriend of mine today. Totally different thing she was talking about and sharing about. And I invited her to give herself some grace. And I thought, that's what I have to do with myself. Because this is a season. Doesn't mean it's forever. I don't know if you've ever done the StrengthsFinder test. You can buy the book and then take the test. And my top 5 strengths empathy, harmony, responsibility, activator, I get shit done, and there's a deer fly on my camera, and responsibility. And I am an extremely responsible, did I say that one? Disciplined, the other one. So I know I'm extremely disciplined, and I am still getting some things done. My life isn't in shambles. I guess I'm annoyed with myself that I don't read 10 pages a day in a book like I used to, because I'd have time to do it. I'd make the time to do it. I'm not getting up as early. So by the time I get up between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning, I gotta get going because, my work day starts at 8, And so it's been a time, and it's rather than get down on myself about it, look at it and be like, you know what? Discipline is what? Getting done the things that you can rather than punishing yourself for the things you can't get done. I mean, there's a season in our lives, and I'm just in a season where I'm not as regimented as I used to be. And that it's okay. It's not, like I said, my life isn't falling apart or anything. Hi there. Just a quick little break here. Yep. Oh, you're tired? Come on now.
I'm not tired.
Yeah, you're not tired. Strong. Anyway, so it's just a part of life when you just, and there's other seasons too. I mean, for me, I think, like I said, my pepper spray. Don't leave home without it. Actually, don't walk in the forest alone without it. I've had to think about the things that I have been doing and what I have been accomplishing, and give myself some leeway because, yes, it's seasonal. Like I said, I think the time change kicked it off for me. So maybe when we go back, spring ahead, fall behind. So maybe when we fall behind an hour in the fall, I'll get back on it, and I'll be up at 4:15 every morning. I don't know. And I'm going to let it happen, what else was I going to say? Oh, and you got to think about, too, sometimes, especially as a woman, I was explaining this to a friend of mine the other day who's a man, and I said, you're lucky. Your hormone cycle goes through every 24 hours. I mean, men wake up refreshed and recharged and ready to go every morning. For us, it's 28 to 30 days. And so we have 1 week in the entire month where we are on our game. And we're motivated and tenacious and unstoppable. And then the other 3 weeks, we're going through different phases of our cycle. And it sucks in some respects. And so you got to give yourself grace in that way, too, as a woman. And like I said, do some inventory on what you are. Like my life, like I said, it's not falling apart. I'm still vacuuming the apartment, getting the laundry done, scrub down the bathrooms at least once a month, I work out every day in some capacity, so I'm moving my body every day. Yeah, I want to eat the ice cream. I don't. I make healthy food choices. I guess I'm not getting up as early as I want. And I'm not reading as much as I would like to. I still listen to audiobooks, and I like to read. This is getting lengthy. My invitation to you is, if you're in a slump, give yourself grace and also take inventory of the things that you are getting done, so it makes you feel like, oh, that's not as bad as I thought. Like, I might feel off, and I'm still pretty badass. I'm still getting a lot done. And then, and the other thing I was thinking about too this morning, it's like, not today, the last 3 days, I would say, I wanted to stay in my sweatpants and binge watch something on the streaming service all day. And I did at the end of the day. And even though I didn't feel like it, I went and worked out. And even though I didn't feel like it, I did the laundry. And even though I didn't feel like it, I wrote a few chapters in my book, So I have a book coming out. I don't know when yet. It's called Not What You Think. I've got 5 chapters done and the intro. 15 to go. So I have the book outlined, I just need to get her done. So you pick a corner of your house that you want to organize. Decide you're going to go for a 10-minute walk, and you're like, I accomplished something. So at least you don't feel like your life is completely falling apart just because a couple areas where you're feeling bad about yourself aren't quite the way you'd like them to be. You're not a failure. You're in a season. This too shall pass. Give yourself some grace. Take control of what you can control. And ride the wave. Because like I said, maybe when the clocks go back in the fall, I'll be waking up at 4:15 again. Who knows? If you feel like you've been in a slump lately, go ahead and put a heart down in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and share this video with at least one person you care about. Enjoy the rest of this gorgeous day.